to order to hear the budget briefing of the Office of the Vice President. And we have with us no less than the Vice President herself. We'd like to greet her a very good morning, Vice President Lenny Robredo. Morning po, and thank you. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. And everyone from the Office of the Vice President, Yusek Boyet D is here also. And I'd like to greet my colleagues, Your Honors. We have the Majority Leaders also signed in, Majority Leader Mig Zubiri, Minority Leader Frank Drilon, and Senator Kiko Pangilinan. So without further ado, I don't think we have to acknowledge too many people because the Vice President is the head of her agency. So we will give the floor, ma'am, to you if you have any presentation for us.
Yes po. This is just a brief presentation, Sen. But first of all, of course, Senator Sani, Senator Mig, Senator Frank, Senator Kiko, and the others who are joining us this morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present this morning the budget of the Office of the Vice President for 2021. Since 2016, we have transformed the office vision and mission to actively collaborate with various sectors to uplift the lives of our fellow Filipinos, especially the marginalized. And that was what we have been doing from 2016 until now. Through our flagship program, Angat Buhay, we have brought assistance to about 558,000 families and individuals already, from building school dormitories in very remote areas to helping connect small-scale farmers and fisher folk to institutional markets. We have also introduced reforms to our medical assistance program so that we can assist more indigents even beyond Metro Manila and ensure that our processes are more client-friendly. But with the onset of COVID-19, we quickly shifted our focus to COVID response activities, addressing one gap after another, leveraging the same power of collaboration. As early as the first week of March, the OVP and our partners have provided PPEs and food and care packages to frontliners. Initially, we allocated 5.9 million pesos from our funds. But when we realized that it was not nearly enough, we also did an online donation drive with our partners, and we were able to reach, including our initial appropriation, we were able to reach about 61 million pesos. We have since expanded our response to shuttle services and dorm services, not just in Metro Manila, but also in Cebu. We have built temporary shelters for our frontliners inside hospital grounds. I think as of now, we have 3 through Project Oasis. And we have also provided food assistance through hot meals and relief packs, including for affected communities and LSIs. That's one thing we continue until now. And we're doing it on an almost daily basis. Our latest initiatives focus on helping with preparations for the start of the school year under blended learning and contributing to economic recovery. We launched Bayanihan Eskwela. We have started with a gadget donation drive. We're setting up community learning hubs where students who do not have access to gadgets or connectivity or whose home environments are not conducive for learning can go. We also produced instructional videos to help families and teachers adjust to blended learning. Recently, we have supported teacher training programs for both online teaching and modular distance learning. For economic recovery, we have turned to technology-based solutions through the Community Mart e-Palengke service. Affected market stallholders earn additional revenue as well as the TODA that delivers orders. We have 4 existing, one in Quezon City, Kamuning Quezon City, but that stopped because Quezon City will be rolling out another program. But our Pasig, Muntinlupa markets are ongoing and are doing very, very well. We also have one in Zamboanga. We are partnering with, in Zamboanga, we are partnering with an NGO. So we also have a e-market, e-palengke there. Under our Bayanihanap Buhay initiative, it's a jobs matching portal which we launched. Currently, we have more than 15,000 jobs available in our site. Most of them are for blue-collar workers. We also launched an online Bayanihan Mart. It's a website meant to provide a platform for small businesses to build an online presence. Other internal reforms and organizational development efforts we have initiated have contributed greatly to making all of these accomplishments possible. We have sustained our ISO 9001:2015 accreditation since 2017. And for the second year in a row, COA rendered an unqualified opinion on the fairness of the presentation of the OVP's financial statements. We are confident that with the proposed budget for OVP next year, we can further expand the work with our partners to contribute to our shared goals of defeating the virus and improving the lives of our people. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. I'm told there are also your staff here with us. I'd like to acknowledge them. OIC Budget, Kelvin Tenido, and Chief Accountant, Julieta Villa del Rey. So, I was told Majority Leader has no questions for now, so we'll go to the Minority Leader, Senator Frank. Sir? Yeah. You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for giving me time. First of all, I was wondering, Madam Vice President, was a portion of your current budget realigned by virtue of Bayanihan 1 or Bayanihan 2?
Yes po. I think about 69 million pesos was 69,211,000 was realigned.
Okay.
For Bayanihan 2. It was supposed to be our budget for research and development, which we actually discussed in the Senate during the last budget season. But since we haven't spent it yet when the pandemic started, that was what was realigned.
Well, that teaches us a lesson. Once you have the money, spend it immediately. Get it back.
Balik natin, ma'am. Balik natin.
Thank you, thank you, Sen.
How much was your original budget for the current year before the realignment? What's the total budget?
Before the realignment, for 2021, Sen, or for
For the current year.
after then, for 2020, it's 708 million pesos. Our proposed 708 cents.
708 million.
Yes, our
And
proposed
69 million was
Yes.
realigned.
Yes.
And I just wanted to have that on record. Now, how much did you submit to the DBM as your budget for 2021?
We submitted 723.39 million pesos.
723. Let's say 724, just for purposes of discussion. 724.
Yes.
And that would just, assuming that there was no realignment, that's just about what, 12, 13, 14 million or 15 million over your present levels. Anyway,
Yes.
so how much did the budget department allocate to your office under the National Expenditure Program? For
It's
2021?
679.74 million, Sen.
679. So
0.7.
what was, okay, so they removed, they did not allow about how much was disapproved by the DBM? Let's have roughly,
About 44 million
let's say
pesos.
45 million in round figures. And because that 45 million was not included in the NEP, so what items would not be allowed if your budget as proposed NEP is the one that is carried?
I think, Sen, it's for the purchase of new vehicles. That was what I was discussing earlier, Sen. That we have a lot of vehicles which cannot be used anymore. But they disallowed it, and also survey for the survey, Sen. That is also part of the research and development allocation that was given to us last year. We included that again in the budget sana for this year, but they removed it also.
Just for the record, because buying of vehicles leaves a bad taste for legislators. You should clarify that these are service vehicles used for for the operations of the various activities that you are undertaking. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, Sen. Actually, Sen, we have about six. We have about six vehicles which could not be used anymore. So I was intimating, Sen, to some of you before we started that for our relief operations, we have been using the private vehicles of our staff already, since you cannot use office vehicles anymore. But you know, Sen, that is not a problem as far as our staff is concerned. But the problem there is we couldn't charge gasoline, so that's out of pocket already. The gasolines that we're using for most of our operations, Sen.
In other words, Madam Vice President, the vehicles are replacement of the
Yes.
vehicles signed to your office which are no longer usable.
Yes, sir. We were not adding any new vehicles. Technically, Sen, those are replacements for vehicles which we cannot use anymore.
Okay, so that's service vehicles for your that you use for your relief operations.
How
And-
old are the vehicles, Mr. Chairman, Minority Leader?
All of them are more than 7 years old, Sen. Those vehicles have been here since we assumed office. Most
think
of
Sen-
them cannot be used anymore.
Senator
All
Kiko,
of
you
them.
wanted to say
All
something?
of them cannot be used anymore.
That's it. I just wanted to know the age of the vehicles. Baka panahon pa ni Vice President Doyle Laurel yun.
Hindi namin siya alam kung gaano siya katanda, pero nakagarahe na lang siya, hindi na talaga siya umaandar.
Hindi nang gumagana.
So these vehicles are just in the garage, they're no longer usable.
No longer usable, Sen.
Okay, and what you're asking for is just to put back about 45 million approximately for as replacement for service vehicles in your office.
We'd like to acknowledge Senators Bong Revilla and Lito Lapid. Sirs, good morning.
Ay, good
Yes,
morning po. Good morning po.
So let's say hi, Vice President.
I think there is, Mr. Chair,
Yeah, go ahead, Senator Frank. Pardon the interruption.
I think there's enough justification, Mr. Chair, for us to reinstate about 45 million, which was originally submitted to the DBM, but which was not included in the National Expenditure Program. In other words, place the budget of the OVP to 725 million, rounded off as originally submitted by the OVP to the DBM. Which is for replacement of service vehicles which are no longer servicing, which are no longer being used, cannot be used anymore in the relief operations of the Office of the Vice President. So with that manifestation and the request and endorsement, we have no longer any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Frank. The request of the Vice President was weighty in itself. You've added greater weight, and I'm sure the committee will look kindly upon your request. Senator Kiko, it's your turn, sir.
Just very briefly, Mr. Chair, actually I have no questions, but that we support the manifestation of the Minority Leader to restore that particular item, and that based on the COA reports and based on the report of the Vice President, clearly these resources are put to good use and will definitely go a long way and will not go to waste, as the track record and the COA reports have shown. So, in government, if you see a functioning, working, effective agency, you should give them more so that they will be even more effective. And the opposite, of course, is true with ineffective, incompetent agencies, where you put money, it's like throwing good money after bad. But in this case, it isn't so. And so we support the manifestation of the chairman and the manifestation of our minority leader to provide and restore the budget of the vice president. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Kiko. Well said. We agree with you there. Unfortunately, in the case of PhilHealth, we have no choice but to make do with what we have. No, just kidding. That's not relevant to this discussion. We'd also like to acknowledge Senator Nancy Binay. Ma'am, good morning.
Morning, Sen.
Morning, Chair.
Morning
I'd
po.
like to give the time
Morning.
next to if they have questions. Senator Bong. Oh, I don't see him anymore.
Chair,
Yeah,
Mr.
Senator
Chair,
Binay.
just a manifestation, no question.
Yes,
Gusto
go,
ko lang
please.
i-share, when my father was the Vice President, ang lagi niyang reklamo, mas malaki pa yung budget ng barangay namin sa Makati kaysa sa budget ng Vice President. So parang lagi na sinasabi na parang demotion sa kanya from a billion budget to, I think, nung nag-start siya, parang budget niya was only 200 million or 300 million. So I would just like to manifest na talaga I fully support hindi nga increasing just to, kung kailangan i-increase, I will also support that move by the chair.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Sen.
That's most welcome. As moved by Senator Drilon, Senator Kiko, now Senator Binay. So I think, yeah, Senator Bong, you're next. I just want to put on record, I noticed that the Vice President has no official residence, has no official vehicles, has no official office actually. During Senator Binay's father's time, it was Coconut Palace, now it's QC. So yeah, talagang medyo dehado po ang OVP. So Senator Bong, your turn, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to say hi to our Vice President. He's a
Hello,
very good friend of mine, lalo na yung kanyang asawa, former secretary. I mean, isang matalik kong kaibigan. Ma'am, kung ano man yung pangangailangan nyo, nasa likod nyo po dito.
Salamat, Sen. Salamat po.
All right. Okay. I move for the approval of the budget of our Vice President. Sip-sip, ano? No,
Thank
just
you.
a very good friend. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, Senator Bong. Si Ma'am Lani, good friend din ba ni Ma'am Lenny? Si Ma'am
Yes.
Lani.
Yes.
Yes.
Joke lang. Yun lang, Senator Bong. Si, we'd like to
Chair?
acknowledge Senator Lito. Senator Lito, it's your turn. Senator Nancy, habol ka? May habol
Hindi,
ka?
pahabol lang kasi nabanggit mo na during my time, during my father's time, he had an official residence. Siguro at some point,
Wala nga. Walang official residence, di
I
ba?
mean an official office. Kasi dati
Yeah, pero palipat, my point was palipat-lipat siya. There is
Yeah.
no institutional entitlement.
yun na nga
in a sense.
dati during his time, PNB na nakakaawa talaga kasi nakikishare lang siya ng office space, diba?
That's
And then
why.
he moved to Coconut Palace. I think
Exactly.
at some point, bigyan naman
Yes.
natin ng dignity yung office of the Vice President. Let us, find a permanent home for this office.
Yes, eventually. We should do that long term. I agree with you.
Diba? Baka
Madam
pagplanuhan
Senator.
na natin.
Yes,
Yun
yes.
lang, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Nancy. Senator Lito, sir, pinuno.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Good morning kay Vice President.
Morning, Sen.
Kumusta na po kayo?
Okay naman po.
Okay ka? Magkano po yung inaano nyo ng budget?
723 sana, Sen. 723 yung sinubmit namin, pero binabaan kasi ng DBM. Ginawa nilang 679. So yung pakiusap lang sana namin, Sen, maibalik lang. Yung nawala.
Dapat nga maibalik eh. Yung nasa tama yung sinasabi ni Senadora Binay na na kawawa naman yung budget ng Vice President. Yun nga, sige, sana maibigay uli yung yung hinihingi mong budget. Suportado ako.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Salamat. Bye.
Salamat, Senator Lapid. Ma'am, you should be honored. Minsan lang po magtanong si Senator Lapid. Talagang piling-pili niya po yung panauhin at issue na siya'y magsasalita. Kaya it's an honor, I think. Thank you, Senator Lapid. I think everyone is unanimous. So I think the committee really has to move forward with this. So Senator Frank, yes, please.
Yes, can we just request the Office of the Vice President to submit officially to the committee those items which were disallowed by the DBM and so that we can include them as part of the committee report if the committee chair will allow. So we would make that request to the OVP to submit to the committee officially the list and the amounts deleted and not included in the National Expenditure Program. Thank you very much.
Yes, can we do that po as soon as possible?
Thank you, Senator Frank, Minority Leader. We have Senator Miggs online. I don't know if he wants to ask questions, although I remember last year and in past years, he was very supportive of the Vice President's budget. Senator Miggs, Majority Leader. I think he might be in. He's very busy because he's a member of all committees, ma'am. So he has to jump from hearing to hearing. So if there are no other statements from our colleagues, I'd like to say that I think the committee will consider this favorably at the proper time in when we tackle the amendments. But this early, I think it's clear that the support will be overwhelming for the increase in the office of the Vice President. So thank you again, Madam Vice President, for honoring us with your presence. And if there are no other questions, can we act on the motion to endorse the budget of the Office of the Vice President favorably with augmentations as moved by Senator Frank, Senator Kiko, Senator Nancy, Senator Lito, Senator Bong. Lahat po na nagsalita ay in favor po of augmenting the Vice President's budget. And I think she's very deserving and her programs have helped many Filipinos. So salamat po, Madam Vice President. We will do that, and we'll just expect that letter po from you if when your time permits. Salamat po ng marami.
Thank you very much, Sen. Thank you very much po.
Thank you, ma'am. Morning po. Thank you, dear colleagues. That was the fastest committee hearing we had this year so far. Thank you very much for your support. See you later at session. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Ingat.
Thank you, Sonny.
Thanks, Tito Frank. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Kiko.
Thanks, Sunny.